Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Hope you had a great time. I myself was really busy, but nonetheless, I was thinking about what I wanted to do in this upcoming year 2018 as far as my development goals. And this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. It's going to be really brief, but just wanted to give you kind of my thoughts about what I want to do this year. Maybe get some of your feedback or opinions. I've been getting a lot of good feedback throughout this break as far as the arcade space shooter template. A lot of people have been messaging me, emailing me, which is great. Honestly, I really enjoy interacting with you guys, even if you don't own it, right? If you're interested in just general development on Real Engine and how I did something, feel free to reach out because I really do enjoy having the conversation with you guys. So last year, if you look at my devlogs, I pretty much did mostly one thing, which is the arcade space shooter template. Except for 2 months out of the year in 2017, I was most likely just working on the space shooter template. It took me a long time, over 200 hours for sure. I didn't keep exact count, but between 200 and 250 hours. I learned a lot. And I just took a 1 month break to do a quick game jam, and then I was back to the arcade space shooter template. So it was really tough at times to keep my motivation going. I nearly burned out, which is why I did the game jam. So my thought was for this upcoming year, I wanted to keep my projects a little bit shorter. I have already several ideas of what I want to do, but I don't think I'm going to spend, 6, 8 months working on something. I just want to take a different approach. So my thought was, well, there are two areas specifically that I feel like I'm a little weak. One is multiplayer. I haven't done any networking in Unreal Engine, so that's one thing that I want to learn, and then probably what comes out of that is some kind of project that uses multiplayer. So we'll see. Also, that was one of the biggest requests for the arcade space shooter template when I launched it. A lot of people were asking, is it multiplayer ready? And it isn't. So that's one thing. And the other thing is AI. I had to pretty much come up with my own system for the flying AI because a lot of the Unreal Engine systems are mostly made for just regular characters like the nav mesh, pawn sensing, AI perception. So basically, I just didn't have time or couldn't really use all that stuff. But I do want to learn it because it's extremely powerful. So I do have a few projects in mind, a few ideas. I haven't settled on what exactly I'll be doing yet. But I did want to share my first idea and get your opinion. So the first idea was, well, what if I made a like an arcade racer type template? And this is obviously inspired by the classic game F-Zero, and this is the one I have right here. I grew up playing this game. I loved it when I was a kid, and I was like, well, I just spent the last 8 months recreating Star Fox, so why not try something like F-Zero? This is probably going to be simpler if I do end up doing it. It's just going to be a simple racer. But even the original game that you're seeing here, in my opinion, is too simple, right? If I do tackle this, I want to have obviously a lot more creative tracks, right? It's not going to be just flat. I want all kinds of pitch. I want loops, which means that I have to figure out a way to get the racer to stick to the track. Things like a boost, like AI, I had to figure out the AI, but things like boosts and platforms and things like that would be fairly easy, I think. Then I was looking into it and I found this game called Redout. This was done also in Unreal Engine, very much inspired by Star Fox, F-Zero and Wipeout, and it looks amazing. And then I found a blog, I think, and they were talking about some of the things they did, which was they had to modify the physics engine with C++, which is something I can't do. I'm going to have to stick with blueprints. So I'm not really sure how far I can take this. But if I can make something that is remotely close to this and make it a template, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, is this something that you guys think would be interesting? is this something worthwhile in your opinion? You see, in this case, you can see the loop is very smooth. I have to figure out how to do that. And actually started a little project here already, and this is just a couple of hours really of mucking up. I started with the same ship model as one of the racers. I imported the spline course and modified it a little bit. This is actually from one of the Epic templates, and what I did is I modified it a little bit and added a few extra things. And the cool thing is I already figured out a way to stick to the track and basically rotate based on the normal of the track. So even when you're going close to 90 degrees, you can actually stick to the track, and you can see here as I'm going back and forth. That jittering that you see there is basically I need to smooth out the rotation. I just haven't had time to do it. Again, this is just me playing around to see if this is even possible. But I already found the problem, which is it looks like the player controller cannot go beyond 90 degrees. So that could be a problem, because if I'm going 90 degrees and I want to do a full loop, you can see what just happened there. It doesn't rotate properly. So as long as your pitch is anything below 90 degrees, you can probably do something. If it's above 90, like in this case, I'm trying to do a 360. I am not able to do it. And then I realized that the value is hard-coded in the player controller, which means that I'm not really sure if this can be overcome easily. So this is just an idea. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to proceed, but I figure maybe it'll be interesting if I give you kind of an insight of what I'm thinking and what I'm tackling and exploring. Let me know what you think. Is this something worth pursuing? I already found the biggest roadblock so far, which is if I can't do a loop, I'm not really sure if it's worth it. If I do it, I want to make sure that I can do it where it's kind of gravity defined, right? You can do twists and turns and loops and everything in the track. But so far, I haven't been able to figure out a way to do this. So yeah, let me know what you think. And also, if you have any development goals for this year, I would love to hear about it. Are you thinking about learning anything specific in Unreal Engine? Are you working on some really cool project? Yeah, let me know. We'd be really glad to hear it. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.